Elvis only recorded 20 Christmas songs in his life, but his record company continues to get good mileage out of them long after he died. And in today's video, we're going to look at 12 different cover designs that were used on his Christmas releases over the years, one for each day of Christmas. And at the end, I'll throw in a couple of bonus items because what the heck, Christmas seems to come around earlier every year these days. Now, I have shown some of these items in previous videos, and some of them I haven't shown, but what's Christmas without an Elvis compilation? On the first day of Christmas, my true love sent to me an Elvis Christmas LP. This is not Lock 1035, sadly, but it is a very nice Japanese pressing from 1992, and this was released in the same gatefold sleeve that the original American album came in, with all the pictures on the inside. And this album is actually one of a series of 10 LPs that all came with this black obi design. I just have one more to get, and once I've got that one, I'll show you all 10 of them. Now, you don't get any more Christmassy than this cover here. There's Elvis face on a Christmas present, surrounded by more presents and Christmas decorations. And there were similar covers to come in subsequent years that were based on this particular idea. On the second day of Christmas, my true love sent to me a UK Christmas LP. Now, in the UK, we didn't get that wonderful booklet that you just saw there, and we didn't even get that very Christmassy front cover. Instead, we got this cover design here. Not very Christmassy at all, but there it is, Elvis's Christmas album. It has exactly the same 12 songs as the American version, and this photo I would guess is from 1956. It certainly looks to be from about that year with the blonde hair. Still a great cover picture, but not very Christmassy. On the third day of Christmas, my true love sent to me a very rare Christmas LP. This is the Japanese original from 1957, and as long-time viewers to this channel will know, I actually have two covers, but just the one record. If you'd like to know more about these releases, then have a look at my earlier videos from about a year ago now, actually. A viewer actually got in touch and informed me that this particular cover design was also used on another Christmas record by another artist called George Melocrino, and the album was called Christmas in High Fidelity. And not only that, but they also used this design for an EP by the same guy called Christmas in High Fidelity Volume 1, which suggests there might have been a Volume 2, but I haven't been able to find out any information about that. But I would suggest that this is the best Elvis cover not to feature the man himself on the cover. Let me know if there are any other covers that you like that don't have Elvis on the cover. On the fourth day of Christmas, my true love sent to me a US mono Christmas LP. This one dates from 1963, so it's not the very first one. But as you can see, the American reissue had this picture of Elvis superimposed over this wintry scene with what looked like pine trees over here on the right, suggesting Christmas. And it had a couple of back cover designs. Mine has the one that I prefer, actually, with the photographs of Elvis. There was another version which had advertisements for the religious records that had been released up to that point. Great cover, that one. On the fifth day of Christmas, my true love sent to me a red vinyl single. This is Elvis Blue Christmas, Wooden Heart, which originally came out, I think, at the end of 1964. And this design is quite similar to the original Christmas album in that you have a photograph of Elvis. This time it's done in a Christmas tree design, not a present design, surrounded by Christmas gifts and decorations. And the other side of the single was a Wooden Heart. And this actually comes from a box set of singles, and they are all pressed on red vinyl. Very nice set, actually. On the sixth day of Christmas, my true love sent to me a Japanese Christmas EP. This one dates from 1965, and it has 6 songs from the first Christmas album. And once again, you can see that it has this photograph of Elvis surrounded by Christmas paraphernalia theme. And they actually used this very same design 3 times in the space of about 12 months. The first stereo edition of the Christmas album was released with this design, and also a single, Santa Bring My Baby Back to Me and Here Comes Santa Claus, which I showed in my previous video, also has this design on the front cover. And this is a 33 RPM 6-song EP. Very nice design, that, and they got a lot of mileage also out of this picture because they used it a couple of times in the 80s on 2 compilation LPs. On the 7th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me a Camden Christmas LP. This is a UK copy on the RCA International label from about 1970, I would say. That's the back cover. And the design here is fairly similar to the first American reissue in that you have a picture of Elvis superimposed over a wintry scene. And I suppose this pine trees again suggest Christmas, but it looks more like it should be called Elvis's skiing album than Elvis's Christmas album. On the 8th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me a Japanese Christmas LP. This one dates from 1972, and I'll just briefly comment on the artwork because we've looked at this one before in a recent video. I suppose the red and the white and the green are vaguely reminiscent of Christmas, but it's really the obi that gives this jacket a Christmas feel to it with its Christmas bells at the top here. And I'm not sure why, but a lot of the Christmas releases feature photographs of Elvis in formal wear, as though that somehow suggests it's Christmas. And Elvis, in fact, even has a carnation in his lapel here, so perhaps this one should have been called Elvis's wedding album. On the 9th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me a white label promo LP. This is an original promo pressing of Elvis Sings the Wonderful World of Christmas. Just got this in this week, actually. Played it and cleaned it, and it sounds really good. So we'll have a look at the cover. The back cover is actually different to the American cover, and as I just mentioned, they do like to use photographs of Elvis in formal wear. Again, it looks more like Elvis going to a wedding than Elvis throwing a Christmas party. And it actually has a gatefold sleeve. And this is similar to the Japanese Christmas album in that it has lyrics and Japanese sleeve notes on the inside there. Now, we saw that wonderful Christmas album from Japan from 1957 and the later pressing with the Trouble with Girls photo on the front cover. So what do you think they did with The Wonderful World of Christmas on the front cover? Well, they did absolutely nothing. They used this same, let's face it, pretty cheesy design that they used on the American album. Where's Elvis? Oh, here he is. He's a snowman. And here he is again as Santa Claus. On the 10th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me a very rare Christmas CD. This is Merry Christmas. This was actually only the 3rd CD ever released in Japan. And it's one of Joan Deary's projects. You can see the tracks there on the back. And it was also released in Europe and the US, although the US version was made in Japan. There are just slight differences in the artwork. And on the back, you can see the titles in Japanese in this white section here. So the first CDs released in Japan did not have an obi. And the songs are a combination of the first Christmas album and The Wonderful World of Christmas. And it kind of reminds me of the first Christmas album in that the first half is more upbeat and the second half is more low-key. And the first 5 songs are more modern Christmas songs plus the standard White Christmas, and then in the second half you have hymns, and for some reason they've chosen to end the album with Peace in the Valley. And there's the disc. Very rare CD, that one. On the 11th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me a very nice Christmas CD. This is If Every Day Was Like Christmas, and it came in this tall cardboard package which opens up to reveal a Graceland at Christmas scene. There is the back cover, and it's a very nice selection of songs in that it has all 20 of his Christmas songs plus a few alternate takes. The CD itself comes housed in this little cardboard cover with some more nice photographs on. And this is actually my favorite Elvis Christmas release cover design. And it's because they've taken a lot of care over it, I think. It's a black and white photograph, but they've tinted it blue. And they've also added these little gold highlights here and there. So it looks like the tree and the present are glinting. It's a really good design. You don't feel as though you're looking at a black and white photograph. And even the holly around the outside and the red and the blue of the hype sticker, they all enhance this photograph. It's a really good design. It's a shame they didn't come up with designs as good as this when he was still alive. In the middle here, you can see there's another hype sticker. This is a Japanese hype sticker. So sometimes they did this. They would import the American releases or European releases and just add a hype sticker for the Japanese customers. And on the 12th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me the very best Christmas CD. And that is White Christmas. And this is a no-frills Christmas compilation. It basically contains all of the Christmas songs released on the 3 Christmas albums. So the 8 Christmas songs from the first album, the 11 from Wonderful World of Christmas, and the 2 new ones which appeared on the Camden album, Mama Like the Roses and If Every Day Was Like Christmas. Just one gripe I have about this album, and that is the inclusion of Mama Like the Roses, which is a bit of a downer, and it's not really a Christmas song, but just a small point. And if they hadn't put it on, some people would have complained, so probably best that they did put it on. And I promised you a couple of bonus items, and here is the first one. This is a Japanese single from 1957, and it's not very Christmassy, but it is a Christmas single, Blue Christmas and White Christmas. They actually used this cover design on a few other singles around that time. And last but not least is a Japanese release from 1985. It's the first Christmas album again. And I say it's Japanese, but in fact it's an import, the green vinyl pressing from the USA. And what they did with this album is they imported it and added this obi. And if you look at the back, the obi goes right over the back cover there. And if I just take that off, you can see that it's printed on both sides and the lyrics are on the other side. So there you go, a bunch of Elvis Christmas releases, all different cover designs, and of course there have been many more that I don't have. How about you? If you have any favorite Christmas Elvis releases or cover designs, just let me know in the comment section below. And thanks for all your support this year, and have a Merry Christmas. Thanks a lot. Cheers.